academics, lifestyle, trends. Welcome to the Random Conversation podcast. I'm your host, Miss Jennifer Onyeke, and I'll be taking you on. Hi everyone, welcome to the first episode of the Random Conversation podcast. I'm your host, Miss Jennifer Onyeke, and it's a pleasure to have you all present here today. This is the first episode of Random Conversation podcast, and I will be speaking extensively on the topic becoming the person of my dreams. So for starters, I'll begin by defining what exactly is the meaning of the word success. From some people's point of view, success is seen as the ability to create wealth, to live the life of their dreams. But to me, success is a lot more than just financial freedom. It is growing into that person you were created to be in all areas: your work, your life, your relationship. I could go on and on and on. But I will be giving you tips and ways in which you can become the person of your dreams. First is define purpose and self-discovery. I believe purpose is what drives a man. And I have a few questions I think that are very important, and I want you to participate and ask yourself later on. Who are you? What do you know about yourself? What is the purpose behind your existence? The truth is, a well-defined purpose and understanding of your personal life is what pushes you into transforming to that person you want to be in the next 5-10 years. You've got to figure out that one thing you are born to be and pay the price for it. Because if you have no idea who that person is, then there's a possibility that you stray along the way and you might become so tempted by the others around you, and then you forget that your path is unique and is meant for you and you alone. I know some people do not believe that there's a purpose behind their life. Some people are still in search of their purpose, and I'm here to give you the solution. Your God-given purpose will always tug at your heart. That's the first thing. It would lead you to your highest fulfillment. That's the second. And it will unlock your compassion and creativity. That's the third. And to be very honest, to discover your purpose is the only way to discover your purpose is in Christ. You can't find it in books. Books may direct you. You can't find it in movies. You can't find it in, whatever source that may come to your mind. But I believe that to fully live and to become a person of your dream, you have to discover your purpose in Christ. He's the only one that can tell you, and he's the only one that will let you know that this is what you are created for. So in summary, discover purpose, discover the essence of your individuality here on earth, and discover you. Then secondly, think positively. I know that in the world we live today, it's so hard to be very, very optimistic because things don't go the way they seem. It seems as if that you can't even reach out to be that person you want to be because obstacles, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of hardship. But Proverbs 4:23 says that you should keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it arises the issues of life. You need to be careful of what you think about yourself, because your thoughts are what feed your physical life is directed by your thoughts. What you say in your head, the moment you say I am useless, you are useless. It is that simple. It's not a do or die affair. What are your thoughts concerning yourself? In order to become the person of your dreams, you have to think positively. And I mean this in the actual sense of it. I think that the problem with being pessimistic is that it places you in that space where you never think or imagine that good things will happen to you or your environment. So I'm going to use myself as a typical example because I'm the host for this podcast. So I think if I'm transparent enough, it will be easy to make you guys believe that these things happen to not just you, but to everybody. So I remember a point in my life where I felt I spoke. I imagined nothing but bad thoughts over myself. I felt inadequate. I felt never enough. It was like this hole that kept on feeding on me. And the funny thing is, I actually reflected physically. My friends, family, and every single person who came across my path could feel it. It was like this bad energy. It was like this bad energy that kept on feeding on me over and over again. And the only way I could change it was to think positively. I didn't just do it on my own. I had God beside me. And so do you. And I'm not, trust me, this podcast is not here to give you a motivational speaker. I'm not here to come and stand and say you think positively. It is well. The truth is these things happen, and sometimes you can't control what you think, but you have to learn to work on your mind. Because if you don't, the product of what comes out of your thoughts is what reflects physically on you. If you're a depressed person, it will show in your actions. It will show in how you think of life. It will show in how you deal with people. So I remember reading a book by John Calvin Maxwell. He's a profound writer. I think a lot of you might have come in contact with his book, How to Be a Successful Person, and the rest of them. So he says, the universe responds to you the exact way you feed it, which in essence means that the course of your life is directed by your words, your thoughts, and your actions. So why don't you take some time today to reflect on your life? How do you think? Ask yourself that question. What do you think? Once you're able to answer these, it'll be easy for you to become that woman or man you desire to be in the future. Because you have to be optimistic if you want to see that person. If you're pessimistic, then trust me, you're not going anywhere. So yeah, that's the second one. Then the third is self-discipline. This is the one we don't like to talk about because everybody wants something sweet. We all want something that would satisfy us. We want to do those things that we know are bad for us. It's like somehow we human beings are attracted to doing bad things and good things. I don't know how to explain it. You know this quote some old people used to say that sweet things kill faster. We want to do those sweet things, but we forget that our dreams are only dreams until they are transformed to reality. You can run and actualize the vision of who you desire to be only when you possess these three tools: focus, resilience, and discipline. For a while now, I have watched the life of successful people who are successful and how they've been able to navigate from where they were to where they got to be, and it's all the same. They made a choice, they ran with it, and they never ever looked back. We all hate denying ourselves of pleasure, but we keep forgetting that what lies ahead of your glory is how you're able to train yourself to push forward and to avoid distractions. I think our generation loves this idea of living in the moment, but you forget that you could live so much in the moment that your future actions affect you so badly, and it becomes like regrets becomes your footstool because you keep on regretting. You keep saying, I hate what I did last year. Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? And I think I have to just state one very important thing. I should just let you guys know that I'm a book reader. Yeah, and I love books, especially good books. So I'll be quoting an author of a book I enjoy. So he said that each time you are faced with a decision between exerting self-discipline and taking it easy, remind yourself that the choice you're making today doesn't affect the present moment alone. A momentary decision can and often will reverberate for many years or even decades into the future. So in order to become that person who you've pictured yourself to be in coming years, you have to exercise as much discipline as you can. Discipline does not only deny you of pleasure, it also places you in that space when you're in absolute control of everything: your life, your family, your relationship, your finances. And I myself can tell you that I'm still in that process because I know where I want to be, and I know that in order for me to go there, I have to deny myself of some things. It's not going to be easy. This thing may sound like ABCD, like just do. Is that easy? It's not easy. I can't even imagine that I have a phone, I have social media, and I want to read. Like, why? But I have to do it because if I don't read, I will fail. And if I fail, I'm gonna come out with a third class or one funny result that I don't know where it came from. So sometimes you have to deny yourself of certain pleasure just to become. You have to sacrifice, you have to compromise just to become that person you want to be. Yeah, so the fourth one is choosing the right relationships and surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Sometimes I feel like screaming this thing in a microphone. You know this quote of birds of the same feathers flock together. It is the truth. But too many individuals in our society likes to deny it. And it's funny because this is actually what affects too many of us in our growth processes. Your friends, your social community. Research records has shown that 60% of most human behavior and attitude are highly affected by the kind of person they surround themselves with. And that works with you too and myself. The woman I have become today, I'm not trying to whine you, neither am I trying to speak so highly of myself, but I have to actually speak highly of myself. But what I'm trying to tell you is that it is largely accredited to my friends and social class. I knew what I wanted to go to, and I also know the kind of person I wanted to associate myself with. And I'm getting the feedback today. I'm seeing the results. So I know we like to lie and we'll say, I beg, leave that nonsense. Isn't all who will be infected will be infected? I can only become like them if I permit myself to. Like, how does that even sound to you? Some of you forget that your actions and your behavioral occurrences usually happen like subconsciously, and they slowly turn to patterns. So until you're able to cut yourself from the source, and those source are those people, trust me when I say, if you don't, you forever remain how you are. You can't grow, and you can't become that person you desire to be, because you have to run with the same people that possess the same energy as you do. Your development and healing can only take place when you cross paths with people that stretch you. You cannot partner successfully with someone who doesn't share the same goal or at least the same intensity as you do. Because it's like me feeling so passionately about writing and my voiceovers. And then my friends are like, it's not the time you must do voiceover. I beg, chill. Take a chill pill. What if I don't want to take a chill pill? What if I want to become the best voiceover? Like, do you get my point? So it's like you're feeling so passionately about that thing, and your friend is so complacent. They're quenching your fire. Trust me, it will ruin everything. And I'll just give you one tip. One of the ways you can use to recognize or choose the right relationship is by listening. Some of you talk so much that you don't even hear when people are talking to you. It's as if you're just supporting one, but you are not listening to the message behind their words. People know themselves a lot better than you do, and they would ordinarily tell you who they are before you get involved with them. I'm being very sincere with you. If you're a listener, if you're someone that sits down in conversation and hear people talk, you can easily assess a person from their words. You can know how they are. You can know how they think. You can know their thought processes from just their words. So for you to know these people, you've got to listen. Their self-assessments and confessions are enough for you to tell you who they are. So the last but not the least, guys, is trust God. I am so big on God because I'm of the belief that nothing, absolutely nothing on earth can be accomplished without God. Are you trying to control what's not yours to control? Are you fretting over obstacles you're facing in the race of becoming the person of your dream? Just trust God. JTG. I actually feel like this last tip should have been at the top, because the truth is you can't fully actualize the others that I had mentioned earlier without God. For every step you take, ask for His will. Now, I'm not telling you to sit down and keep your hands akimbo and be screaming, God is in absolute... No, God is in absolute control, but you got to work too. But I'm simply telling you that you are supposed to submit everything to Him, do your part, and let Him do yours. Yeah. You have to come to appreciate the knowledge of the fact that he is your help. Else you keep running to people who has no more power than you do. And this applies to all areas of your life. You know this song that they came out this year, Daddy with a pamper. When I go to ShopRite, I go to my friend's house, I go to lodges, I'll be hearing some people playing it on loudspeaker. You're in a bus, someone is singing it, and I'm like, if you can sing Daddy with a pamper, why don't you let him pamper you? Put your trust in your Creator and watch him perform miracles you never imagine or think of. Yeah, I'm a living testimony of his grace and kindness, so I can speak loud about it. So trust God. You can't become that person you want to be if you don't believe in your Creator. Yeah, guys, so this is the end of the podcast episode for today. I hope sincerely that you find life and meaning in this, and I do hope you turn out to become that man and woman of your dreams. Finally, may you never ever lose your wonder. I love you all so much. And yeah, see you on the next episode of Random Conversation Podcast. Have an amazing day.